Hello, welcome to Jade Kind Gaming. My name is Adam, here with Nick, who is Jimmy, Austin, who is Erich, Bob, who is Kalidan, Ryan, who is Henwick, here for the 6th session of the Underland Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition campaign. And, see what happened last time.
In an effort to save an innocent man from unfair persecution, I planned an elaborate plan to free him by infiltrating the prison.
So after you basically spent a huge amount of time getting some cool loot from the battle you'd had the session before, you guys went back to town and Austin went and got himself arrested.
Infiltration, it's all part of my plan.
He's in jail. Everyone else, because you split up and then tried to find hotels, ended up in your own individual hotel rooms in different hotels, all generally in the same, within sight of each other, but you just don't know it. And to begin here, because I believe we ended pretty much as you were going to bed, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I also have to apologize if we did not level up. We still have another 1,000 experience to go.
Yeah, of course.
I know that.
Yeah, and I have to attune to my gloves.
Yeah, and you did that during your time in your hotel?
Yep.
Rather than trying to remember later, your strength is, 19? Yeah, they're the same.
Okay.
Gauntlets of over strength. Wouldn't that have been great for you?
Would have been very useful.
Yeah.
What, +2?
Yeah.
+1.
Well, it would be a +3 if
Yeah.
we're talking about on one side. If we're talking about modifier, it would just be a +1.
Yeah, as far as the stat, it'd go up by 3. Enough that I felt it was...
Versus on Ryan, it's like a +12.
No, I didn't know that's how
I didn't know that's
how the gauntlet worked
Yeah.
when I was objecting. I revoked my objections.
To be fair, as you're the one that uses strength. You are who I would have...
Clearly should have gone to me. I have the lowest strength, and I actually have a melee weapon.
And no, you didn't. He had 7.
Well, no, I have the lowest strength with a melee weapon.
Oh,
he has
okay.
lower strength, but he's got magic.
Yeah,
I've got a
but
melee
he
weapon.
have magic too!
He also has to climb and swim at some point in the future,
Maybe.
so it's probably more useful on him.
Anyway, so you're all sleeping, and I want to say, over the next day or so, are any of you intending to perform some sort of jailbreak?
No.
I'm going to the office again to ask about him.
Are you going to try and break him out of jail?
I will try to assist him through legal means.
Okay, so then we can just go through Ryan, through Austin right now until getting some stuff done.
I have a policy about 1 jailbreak per campaign.
And you're planning on that for later?
No, he
Yeah.
already did it with Ryan.
Yeah.
You're right. Oh my god.
It's like,
I
that's
would
also
never
painful.
jailbreak anyone. It's wrong.
To be fair, it's also what kind of jail are they in?
Also, we haven't received the mystical pigments that allow us to break out of jail easily.
Not yet.
The what now?
You'll see when he gets them later.
Yeah, cartoon
Magic paint.
Yeah.
cartoon a door, walk through it. Wile E. Coyote into jail.
Yeah.
Out of jail. Mm-hmm. Wile E. Coyote would into jail.
Yes.
We would then turn around and run into the wall.
Yeah.
So you pretty much are stuck there in your cell. There's of course the elf that you'd spoken with, and there's actually one other person that's a little bit standoffish and quiet. Doesn't like talking to you. You've seen him talk to the other elf a couple of times, but he almost seems a little wary of your gravitas.
What are you talking about? Me and him were old friends. Doesn't he remember about 5 years back?
Yeah, you reminded him. He's really confused how he managed to forget that, but you know what? You reminded him. You successfully did. But otherwise, so your day, twice a day, you're given meals. Basically soups. One very fishy, one mostly a mushroom-based stew. Both very watered down, but you're delivered food twice a day. At one point during that next day, someone does come in. Were you Erich Raspe?
Yes.
Nods and walks away. Has some sort of piece of paper that he's writing something on as he goes. And then you go to bed for another night. The following day, not too late in the day, but you don't...
this quiet guy. Me and him, we need to be friends.
The more you try, the more he tries to sit in the corner of his cell where you cannot see him.
but I can see him.
Can you see through walls, or?
Oh, no, he's got a wall between us?
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah. There are only bars in front of a part of the front of your cell. Most of it is like a solid stone.
Well,
And you haven't got, prison mirrors.
he's not deaf.
So you talk to him anyways.
Yes.
Do you just tell stories?
Oh, yeah, tell great stories. He's going to get to know me and some of the great things I've done.
Done.
Mm-hmm.
That time you went to the moon, eh?
It's just once, and it was a real short trip. Not as much fun as you think it would be.
Anyways.
Go down there, walk around, eat some of the ground cheese,
Yeah, it's whatever. It's not even good cheese. It's terrible.
Almost like rocks.
But a little bit into that, I guess technically it's the third day of you being in jail. You hear, after probably one of the meals has been delivered, you hear a bit of a ruckus as people just start being, pretty much guards are leading in. What you immediately can see out your door, there's at least 8 or 9 people as they're throwing them in groups into cells. There's some confusion. You don't speak Undercommon, do you?
Nope.
The guards are discussing themselves in Undercommon, to which at a certain point they then open the door that you are in, the door that the elf is in, and the one that the other guy is in there, and you are all sort of basically just sort of led out, by the arm, and down the hall to another door on the far end, from where at this point you see more guards are coming through with a number of more people throwing them in groups into cells. Basically, unlike the organized taking your equipment, they are, as they go, practically stripping them of anything that could be hiding on them and just throwing it on the side, not sorting it, not labeling it, just pretty much in a rush as they're doing this, and you are led down the hall. And that's where we'll pick up for you.
Well, that's good. I like that I get the VIP treatment.
I thought yours went by pretty quick.
It did.
So, back to the rest of you.
People won't hear my stories. I'll be too far away.
Just talk harder.
Just talking down. Just project. Use that theater voice.
Let's see. My character has voice training. He's proficient with his voice. You laugh, but he really is.
You find yourself sitting down in the, or standing rather, outside of the legal hall that you'd been to, dove on your shoulder, as you hear the call of a crow above you, ravens flying in flock, 20, 30, flying around in the upper parts of this cavern in circles. Before you really get the opportunity to see what they're circling around in one of the upper districts, you awake. Rap on the door. Did you want breakfast?
How much does it cost?
Soup's covered. If you want meat, it's 2 copper.
I can have some meat with my soup. I have this.
And they literally, open the door and have a tray. You can sort of see there's a cart that they're pushing down the hall.
Yeah.
Checkout time's within 2 hours. They walk out the door. You can leave this here. The others of you have a little more gracious time as you slowly awake, but your day begins. You're each in your own hotel room.
Well, I've looked at my book and I've got my gauntlets all set up. I need to find my Duke companions and deal with the one that happened to get himself arrested. Well, I don't know where the 2 of them are. I'll go to the corpse cart first.
Okay. You make your way there. You probably, at this point in the day, you find yourself there. The door is locked.
Go to the legal district.
Okay.
Alright. I go and send a message that I want to speak with my friend in legal.
Yeah, you pretty much go to his office and he's easy.
Brad, your friend in legal? Brad.
What's his name?
Probably
named
Chef.
him.
Yeah.
Sally.
Monovich.
Monovich.
Singular vegetable.
Yeah. Monovich.
Right there. Government contact in the courts. And yeah, he's between things, and yeah, he's able to come by within just a minute or so. Yes?
Hey, Monovich, one of my companions was here. The one who happens to be a, what's that word? Compulsive liar. He ended up causing some trouble for the local town guards when they were leading a prisoner away and got taken with.
Needs to watch himself.
Yeah, he decided that he wanted to pretend like he knows everybody in the town, so he picked one person too many. Is there anything that we can do to help him, given his...
What's his name?
Erich?
And his
Erich?
last name?
Yeah, a half-elf.
He asked the question for me. He asked the question for and his last name.
Oh, I don't know.
You would.
Oh.
I don't think he would. It's Raspe. I don't think he would have kept it secret.
Nope. Not at all. Probably come up at least a half dozen times a day.
But yes, if you provide it, he'll turn it down like, I'll put in a good word and see what we can do.
Yeah, you might want to go with the angle of his mental stability. If that
I might
would
not,
help.
but as long as he's more or less harmless, I'll put in a good word.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know if there's anything that needs to be paid as far as, like, fees.
That'll be really dependent upon when it comes into a court, but...
Well, I'm sure he can negotiate any sort of whatever debt that he would owe.
Depending on what they did, it may just... We'll see what they have.
Okay.
What do you do?
Thank you.
I would go pack up all my stuff, go downstairs.
I just realized something. You literally cannot world's greatest detective with this character.
No, I cannot.
It's great! It's so good! I'm happy.
I can always hire someone. Just write down, just start yelling like this.
I will give you a gold.
No one wants to do it. No one.
How dare you?
So you go downstairs?
And I pantomime that I want breakfast.
You're like a Sims character?
Yeah, pretty much.
Eventually, they recommend a few taverns nearby. They don't have food at this end, but they can vouch for a couple places that they, depending, they give you a few recommendations for what you want. You know, if you're in for a good, solid, hearty meal, or if you're in for something lighter.
I go for the one with the most meat for the least amount of money.
That bed and breakfast is horrible. Just so bad. No breakfast.
But yeah, you end up in a tavern, across the street. And yeah, they're able to, You've had a number of times where you have not had the ability to talk. You sufficiently mime out, and eventually, in the, well, how much food do you want, you just have the option to put money down. How much money do you set down?
A gold.
Gold. And yeah, you end up with more food than you can realistically eat.
That's fine. It's probably good for at least the rest of the day. I can just take it with me. I don't have to spend a ration today.
So you finish your meal. Do you spend more time doing anything up here before you just leave, or?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I have 2 hours. I might as well use it now. Yeah. Will we... I asked the sort of the question, will we find the... strange bug people to the south? South being the direction we were told they were in? Or where do we need to go in the south to find the strange creatures?
Yes
He's
or no
trying to
only?
ask the sword where the Chul are.
I thought the sword was yes or no only.
No, it's vague. So what is the actual question you ask.
Where would I locate the tool?
Where will I locate the jewel in the south of this city? Yeah, let's go with that.
Though the jewel be perhaps not what you seek, within waters of fish, they creep.
Doesn't rhyme, doesn't work. Do it again.
Close enough.
Nope, doesn't rhyme.
Cryptic.
Ryan, don't write down that crappy rhyme. It's a terrible rhyme.
Hey, it's cryptic enough.
It gives some information, is the...
And the big water thing we came into was in the south, right?
Yeah, you came from the south, yeah.
Okay.
I would just like to point out that you should probably not use vague question-answer things where you have to come up with poems.
I don't have to come up with poems.
It just has to be vague.
Yeah, I just have to be vague. I like to come up with some kind of poems.
Mm-hmm.
I do it out of choice, not out of need.
So you could technically not do that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That,
Glad that's been established.
yeah.
Plan on some more semi-poems.
He has them every night. You can start David's gaming our way through this, where 8 hours in real life is 8 hours in game.
Yeah, no. After I do that, it's like, okay, search the fish water. Going to head over to the legal district.
Okay. As you leave, you see Kalidan downstairs in the tavern portion. With making good debt on what seems to be an obnoxiously large platter of
A Fred
fish
Flintstone
and-
style platter.
Go over to you.
Because you got meat added for 2 copper.
Yeah.
He just gave him a gold. It's like,
I want this much meat.
I'm probably drinking decent beer. Just look at you.
Do you need help? Okay. Well, tell you what, I'll wait here with you, then we can head over to the legal area after you're done.
I look at you, scoot my platter away,
No, that's fine.
says the urchin.
he already ate.
Yes. Just quietly sit there, play harmonica.
I don't think you were quietly playing the harmonica.
Well, I'm not belting it out.
Just sit there quietly playing trumpet.
Yes.
The drums.
The drums you actually can play quietly. You just put the muters on them.
So after that, do you head back up to Corpse's cart?
Before I leave, I'm going to ask Monovich, where can I get like a working man's meal?
He recommends a few places.
No.
To a large extent, if you're not looking to sit down, really just along the stalls on the market.
Okay, I'll go and
Street
pick-
food.
Yeah.
I'll pick up some street food.
Yeah. For a copper or two, you can get a few varieties of things
Yep.
stuffed onto sticks and.
It's almost not like rat at all. Hey, every time I go to a Chinese place, rat on the stick has got to be one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Okay, I spend 2 copper eating stall food.
But what are you going to do with the rest of your day?
I'm gonna go back to the corpse cart and try to deal with the
You
shopkeeper.
won't have any leftover food, that's all I'm saying.
Oh,
You
sure.
can spend another copper or so and still be out way ahead of you.
But yeah, by then they've unlocked the doors and you open the door to familiar sight. Good morning.
Yes, morning. Okay, I'll go ahead and tell you what I'm looking for. Essentially, I need a particular luminous myconoid for my magical scripting. And I imagine that if I stick around here for probably a while, that I'll probably need quite a bit of it eventually.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm talking about, getting enough ink in order to write down spells.
Do you show your book?
Yeah.
Yeah, he sees that. Okay. Primarily, the way you have your book is a lot of the inks you use are the same inks anyone else uses. You have some of them in a special ink that's luminous, enough for you to jog your memory. It also makes it very difficult because a lot of it is black ink on black paper. But it's enough for you to recall, and it's really hard for anyone else to read from your book. Because a lot of the inks are just what is generally used in spell research. So, but yeah, he's able to provide that well enough. He's, as far as the extra, most of it he has just in stock. As far as the luminous inks, he's like, I have some things here, and he's able to, if you have a half hour, I can get the luminous ink.
Yeah. No, what I'm asking is, let's say I want to buy whatever, essentially this many pages worth, or whatever, this amount of these many bottles of ink. And he's like, how much would I have to pay kind of over time to get that?
The way spells are written, it tells you how much you have to spend in that. Mm-hmm. And it's really you tell me how much you want to spend, and he will give you the ink that is necessary for that.
Yeah.
He's not going to run out of ingredients on you.
Yeah, no, he has plenty of this. And more or less you figure out from amongst just because while he does magic stuff and back from jars in the front, he's able to alchemically come up with the things for the glowing ink for what you use in your book specifically.
Yeah, but because of the nature of how the game's written, it's the prices are non-negotiable.
Yes, because of how the game is written, yes.
Okay.
Same as like for your spell components. Literally, if you get a good deal on the pearl, then it's no longer worth that, and it no longer works as a component.
So if we steal it, you can't use it as a component because you got it for free.
Well, wait. If we manage to get a bunch of components on the cheap, and then we fluctuate the market so it does become worth that much.
That's not how this works.
Like how many feather factories are we going to have to burn down to make the feathers from Featherfall worth a lot?
All of a sudden, we've created unnatural scarcity, and the price of these tiny pearls is enough for the spell component. Hurrah! But yeah, okay. I'll give him 50 gold worth of magic ink money.
Yeah, he's able to do so, and pretty quickly, whip up your glowing ink, and just the rest of it he has just in stack. Pretty much sort of says something to someone in the back, and pretty much works up front with you, just sort of sitting on his counter still with things from the jars, mix the glowing ink, and by the time he finishes that, he's able to basically lean in the back behind the curtain and grab the rest of the inks that you need.
Thank you.
Of course.
So yeah, I'm gonna pack.
You've been quite well.
Go pack up the rest of my food.
Mm-hmm. They didn't give you a to-go box sort of container, so it's based on whatever you already have.
Yeah, just put it in a pouch.
Okay.
Theoretically, whatever rations come out are sort of sealable.
Yeah, but those don't need to be quite... This is a much fresher product.
I started off with the juicy stuff.
He ate the juicy stuff first, therefore the drier goods are...
piled on a plate, and so technically the juices are draining downwards.
I just will wrap whatever's left in, like, some napkins.
No, we might as well do that while we're in town. We need to go and buy bags of various sizes.
And then I'm going to go to the dwarf.
Yes.
I will hang out with you, just so we don't lose each other again.
Good morning.
I begin to pantomime goggles. I'm trying to pantomime night vision. Something that gives me night vision.
Not you're looking for glasses?
Stand there with intelligence check. 4! Seems goggly.
Did I do a performance?
Sure.
5! Wait. 5! As long as performance is correct.
Well, you're looking for some sort of shield, face shield for a helmet. Yeah, by the way, the dwarf is the smith.
I know.
He would not have the magical
He would not have a magical item.
I know.
But
he would be able to tell me where to go.
I don't know, I haven't tried this, but I cast Whisper what you need to Bob to see if he can whisper back. And a whisper no one else can hear.
I look at him exasperated and proceed to begin my entire dance over. Except sarcastically. Wait. I get a performance chance for sarcastically.
3.
You're not very sarcastic.
I seem more earnest than I did last time.
Theoretically, your best bet would be point to eyes, point to shield.
The light's on my shield.
Well, not right now, but it usually is.
How would that help me? He doesn't know that.
Yes, but I'm with you and I might be able to help. But that was 2 performance checks and us being stupid, so
No.
I don't think we get this through.
I was wondering.
Yeah, eventually you just
why
gonna-
we had 100 gold.
Did you want
party
anything?
thing, and it's because you didn't.
I just started
collect your money
curious.
because you got arrested. It's like, where did this 100 gold come from?
It's a complex plan. I don't expect you people to understand it.
I
He
see you
eventually
do.
he just goes back to his wooden shelves and he pushes them all to one side. If you want anything, let me know. And he will just kind of slowly pull shelf after shelf. All sorts of weapons, armor, shield.
I'm gonna look.
Yeah. He has a lot of it. He has 1 or 2 items for each thing that he's like, okay, I have the basics. And then he seems to like art. He likes making decorative versions of weapons and armor. And so there's a lot of that on there. But he just kind of goes through and all sorts of metalwork.
Is there any magical shield?
Not that you can tell.
I sigh dejectedly, pull out some paper, and write down what I'm looking for.
Ah, magic crop. Ah, yeah. It'll be want to go up in the Queen's Eyes district.
Then I give him a thumbs up. Then I proceed to look very confused and do this.
He also pointed upwards to the district on the other
I look at his ceiling, looking for a ladder.
We've been up the stairs.
Yeah, you've been to the next the next street up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, that's the street that the corpse's card is on.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so?
Because you didn't know the name of it.
While we're scrolling through, I point out some scale mail. How much for that?
It scales to size.
It's 50. But
50? Do you just point out something relatively simple?
You talked to him
He'll
about it.
quote
I don't
it.
trust this armor. There's something fishy about it.
yes, I'll go ahead and buy some scale mail.
As long as you're not buying it from a real snake.
Granted, I've now swapped my armor like twice. And this go back.
I'm guessing you got more money?
Yes.
And each time what's your AC up to now?
Ah, yes, scale mail. The armor of Anubis.
So, I believe 18. Yeah, 14 plus 2 plus 2. So, 18.
See? Everyone's getting close to me. My AC is not high enough.
Wait, you mean you don't just not want to be hit yourself, you want your party to be hit?
Yes. I'm glad you understand how this works. Otherwise, I'm not useful.
Give him an ability to teleport backwards after he's made his attack.
No. That's terrible.
It works so good.
Yes, because
It does provoke attacks of opportunity.
wants to either not be hit because of AC or to blow all of his whatever resource he has to teleport far away from battle mid-battle.
I didn't know there was going to be a second battle that day. It's been 5 years. Can we stop? Can we put this on the bed?
Never!
And I did
not only that character who's done
I
this.
did leonine work with that crossbow in the back of the group.
Again, if it was just the one character, that would be one thing. But you tend to pick teleporters, go hit, and then teleport away.
Yeah,
The
no.
monk campaign, you did the same thing.
And your superhero character was also that.
Okay,
but
this
he
isn't
also-
the make fun of Bob hour. Let's move
He
on.
also couldn't be hit at all. because Adam gave me prep for killing people because you can't be hit, they're not a deadly threat. I'm like, no, they're shooting at me. They could theoretically hit me. But Captain Falcon was amazing.
And completely had an original name. You just don't know.
In my defense, he Falcon punched people in the little teensy weensy bits.
So, yes. But that's... Head off with Bob upstairs. Like, if you want a magical item, let's go back to the corpse cart.
I don't like that dude. I can't mime imperfectly.
Natural 20.
He clearly doesn't like that dude.
Okay,
But he is the one that you know. Yeah.
We go up to that district and just start looking in shops.
Oh no, we go to the corpse's cart. I don't like him.
Oh.
That doesn't mean I'm going to extend a shopping trip.
Yeah.
They probably arrive while you are sitting there waiting as he's making your, finishing up your inks and such.
Yeah. I'd say, hey guys.
Party back together.
Hey.
Most of it.
You think Eric?
The sensible part of it.
You think Eric would mind if I spent some of his money and said that I paid to help him get out of jail?
Yes.
Well, he would.
You don't need to roll. You can just nod your head.
I got a 4.
You still managed to get the needs. Yes.
If you found out about it, but would it be something that helped him?
Helped him? No, it'd be more magic ink.
Oh, then no. If it was a magical item that helped the entire party, maybe. But no, more magical ink, no.
I walk over and try to pantomime that I want.
Didn't you already write down what you wanted? And
Yes.
didn't he see it?
Yes.
As he starts the pantomime.
I got a 12.
I'll wait a good, minute into it to see if he gets it. If not, then I'll speak up.
You've gone through, nearly that point. You're pretty. Eventually, he just sort of eyes you up and down. You sick of being blind? He nods and he goes in the back and he talks to a useful voice.
1 out of 4 ain't bad. 2 out of 4 is pretty
I
bad.
just imagine that you're doing a Velma impersonation.
My glasses, I can't be seen without
No,
my
I have
glasses.
to turn my eyes into little mouths. Little creepy mouths that make me skip those episodes. So a lot of Scooby-Doo I haven't watched. I'll never know who haunted that particular water park or whatever.
It was Old Man Jenkins.
Probably was.
So what don't you like about Scooby-Doo?
When Thelma's eyes look like little mouths, so she's got 3 of them.
The little bump and I've seen that animation style before. Which reminds me of Cyborg
What's
009.
you remember what they're actually called?
I hate 009.
I don't know.
I don't know if...
Goggles of night vision?
Yeah.
Goggles of night. Yeah, goggles of night. Okay.
Probably something on the nose, it being D&D.
The head of Owl Scene.
The goggles of the owlbear. What does it do? Gives you dark vision. Why?
Do you say... I asked the sword, it mentioned water, so I was also going to ask if there's anything here to allow us to breathe underwater.
I certainly haven't learned anything that would help us in that regard.
Nope. It's like level 4 spells, man.
Probably
They're not
requires
that high.
verbals.
It's like a level 3 spell, and I think it's a ritual.
Only alter self is 3, and that's self only. Gives you gills.
Yeah, I was thinking more a bottle of air, and then we could pass that back and forth. But I eventually want to...
But what if you got the herp? I don't want the herp.
Well, fine, you can drown.
So you're saying you have the herp?
No!
But he's not going to promise you he does it.
Third level transmutation
If you-
ritual. But only lasts for 24 hours. Huh?
But who can grab it?
Well, he sort of talks to a youthful voice in the back
Rangers,
and
sorcerer,
comes back with a bit of a detailed, but basically set of eagle eye goggles.
Up to 10 willing creatures.
Which, yeah, holding fine. These should let you get a bit of sight. Would be 300 gold for them, though.
Can't afford it.
It's like we don't have that at the time, but we'll keep you in mind.
100 question mark?
You just put...
100.
Make a persuasion at disadvantage.
17 or 15, so 15.
And you don't get a bonus to it?
No.
He does take enough time to consider, but he's like,
Does he
no,
not think
but
my
we do
antics are fun enough?
He sort of shakes his head, no, but
well,
we
we
will
have been
have them
spending a lot of
here.
money.
He's not going to offer me a newer, lower price?
Not for that level of negotiating.
He has to throw out another price. I might be able to make it if he throws it low enough. I have more than 100 gold.
But he's
You
known
offer
us to offer him exactly how much money we have.
And also, you're not the easiest to communicate with.
Yes.
I put down paper.
Well, let's let me know when you have 300.
I'm going to burn this building down.
Again, still made of stone.
Only Senator totally doesn't know.
Because you go... you pantomime flames.
Just Jimi Hendrix singing it on my way out.
At some point in the future, when I have more money, I would like to purchase a mask that will allow me to breathe underwater.
That could be a bit. I know we have potions for that if ever you need, but...
How much are the potions?
Let's go with 100 gold.
No. It's like if they're like 10, 15 gold a pop, maybe, but no. But, yeah.
Do you have an apparatus of quash?
A what?
Apparatus of quash.
I don't think you would know that name.
Okay. Do you have a...
Do you have a giant crab neck?
He's like,
No, giant crab barrel.
submersible.
I'm going to name him Frank.
You have
Or
an apparatus
Zoidberg.
of Frank?
Zoidberg. Why not Zoidberg? Should be Zoidberg.
An apparatus of Zoidberg?
No, it's the crab thing. It's whatever it's actually called, but its name is Zoidberg. Like my car's name is Matilda.
He's gonna name our sweet, sweet crab ride.
And its
I don't
name
think you're
is
gonna get a
Zoidberg.
sweet, sweet crab
Zoidberg.
But I guess he's called dibs if ever I forget and give you one.
I'm thinking he probably thinks a movie, but I keep thinking the kangaroo.
What, Zoidberg?
No,
Or
let's see Matilda.
No.
Technically, I think of the Broadway show, but
Oh.
based on the same book.
Oh, it's none of those things.
Yes.
It just looks like a Matilda. Its cute little face looks like a Matilda.
I will describe before I go. It's like, do you have any? I want a plague mask with a bottle of air in the nose.
First of all, why do you want a plague mask?
Because it could fit the bottle of air.
Plague Doctor.
Plague doctor mask. Yeah.
It's the mask with the long...
Yeah, I know what it is.
Of course you did. I just told you.
Well, I should point out, well, what besides the water-breathing potions, what things do you have that would produce air or things like that? Does he ever bring up a bottle of air?
He does not on his own bring that up, no.
That'd be underselling himself.
Well, then I won't know about it yet. This is my plan for the future, so you, the DM, know.
I know nothing. Mm-hmm. So, party is back together.
Head down to...
I already spoke with Legal. He said he put a good word in with our friend Erich to try to see if he can get out of jail in any sort of timely fashion.
My character looks confused. I
Eric.
don't think I saw him get dragged off.
Yeah.
You were there.
Yeah, you...
You literally watched him. You ran ahead of us to watch him get dragged off.
Yeah.
I thought I was in front.
You pretended to look away so you weren't involved with me.
Oh, yeah. Well, can you blame me?
Yeah.
Not really. Not all.
You
men
would
are
have a
made
much
of the-
harder time getting out of it.
Of the courage that I wield.
Do we want to go check the board, see if there's anything we can do in the meantime while we wait for him?
Well, we're still dealing with the Chul and trying to find his uncle.
The sword said while the Chul may not be what we seek, it is in water with fishes. Hence why I was asking about the bottles of air and stuff. About the water breathing.
I appear to be chewing on a rib.
You mean, by appear to be, you mean actually chewing on a rib you pulled out of a sack?
Yes.
A majority, pretty much, almost all of the identifiable meat that you have in there is fish. Not saying there aren't smaller ribs, but just as far as visually. There are some meats in there that you are not sure you can identify.
Do they taste good?
They do.
I don't
They're
care.
very well seasoned.
I've identified it. It's food.
Yes.
I know what this is. I put it in my face hole, and all of a sudden, I'm not hungry anymore.
If you see it, some of them you know are slug. You are fine with them. You have grown up with it.
Yeah. That don't bother me.
Yeah, no,
Look, it's a big thing of almost pure meat with no bones or anything.
yeah. They have the
It's
very
the
big
original chicken tenders.
Exactly.
Get some pink slime.
Escargot.
I actually love snails. They're super good.
But so you guys got some time where you're kind of waiting on.
Well, yeah, he's in jail for now, so I don't know. Do we continue on ahead, or do we have any other suggestions on what to do in the meanwhile?
I walk over to the board. I gotta go look for the bounty board.
So we head back down to the legal area.
So you end up heading in there, and you sort of head over to the board, and none of you see it as it's happening, but eventually someone does approach you. One of the, probably the scrawny kid that had counted things with you before. We got a note. If you came by, I was supposed to deliver this to. Well, there was one more of you, but make sure he gets that.
Yes.
Open it.
Yeah. No, it is basically a Regis Alfredmore requesting a meeting at the Minor Mine.
By Minor. It's the owner of Minor Mine Co.
You got him to say it.
I proceed to try to interpretive dance what the letter means.
Why? Why couldn't you just give it to us?
Because
My character
way
asks.
funnier.
You like his dance. Let him dance.
13. By the way, when you say that, I just start smiling broader.
By the time he gets to the pickaxe motions, he's probably talking something about the mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Scrawny guy backs and turns and goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the paper. Does it say what the job is, or what?
It does not. It's.
Didn't you get
a
that
meeting.
from my interpretive dance?
And it's like, well, it doesn't say anything about us getting paid.
I don't know. Maybe he has.
It does not even officially say there's a job. All it basically says is that, based on work you've done, I would request a meeting.
We could do that while we wait. It's only like an hour or two walk.
This is. I'm not too happy with this letter. It doesn't really detail anything.
Well, that's why you go to the meeting to find out.
Yeah, but I'd like more information than this if we're going... Where does it even say that we're going to meet up?
The Minor Mine.
He wants us to go to the abandoned mine to meet him and not in an office.
No, it's the Minor Mine, not the abandoned mine. That's a whole different mine.
Mm.
It's the Minor Mine owned by Minor Mine Co.
So it's
Where all the rust mines just work.
Yeah, it's where you had your job previously.
You're just not calling it by the right name.
But it's whatever, the abandoned mine that...
It was abandoned when you went there. You cleared it out for the purpose of them trying to return it to work.
Because the Minor Mine Co. knows that Minor Mines is major business.
Mm-hmm.
You can always split the party again. I mean, clearly the mute member would love to go to a meeting.
I would love to meet this masterful genius of business who knows that minor mines are major business. He came up with such a swell slogan.
He came up with it.
Well, we can't
It wouldn't
argue
offend
with...
me if you made a 6'3" bald dude as the owner of Minor Mind. It wouldn't hurt my feelings.
And say this is one of those things where I'll go but begrudgingly.
Yeah, it's
Are
like,
you funny?
it's like you can't yell at his note-making skills without actually going to meet him.
Oh yeah.
And just ignoring him probably won't get better notes.
No. We could improve upon it. If we want to yell at him, go get the kid. We'll send another letter back.
Oh yeah,
I've seen where this goes, so it's nowhere good. Let's just go to the Minor Mind.
yeah.
This is how you suddenly need linguistic checks to realize that you're supposed to meet with someone in 2 hours because they decided to write it super fancy. Vic.
What?
You did that to McBaron. And all of a sudden, you got linguistics? No? Oh, then you can't read the note he sent back.
Hey man, you want to get fancy? I'll get fancy. I'll pay people to get fancy on my behalf.
So do you now go?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so you
Go without me. I see how it is.
you're familiar with this
You
exit
You went
to
to
town.
jail without us. Fair is fair.
Yeah,
You
you
could have come. Invitation was wide open. I
didn't
said,
feel very-
everybody, let's have an adventure. And everyone's like, nah, you go do that yourself.
Yeah, you did not feel very invited. But yeah, you make your way. You're very familiar with this exit to the town at this point. Yeah.
As we're walking, keep an eye out for not Uncle.
For the doppelganger.
Yes.
I hate the Nuka-Cola bottles. Now if they're designed, just they won't fit in a cup holder.
Why? Because they're designed to look like a...
They're
Yeah, little
it's too
fins.
big. It won't fit in a cup holder.
Well,
What were they
obviously-
thinking?
Obviously, all the cars would have had notches for the Nuka-Cola
But
bottle.
Yeah.
the Sunset Sarsaparilla normal bottle.
Yeah, and that could have just fit in the cup holder. We're ignoring the notches.
I'm just saying the Nuka-Cola bottle it upsets me greatly that they did such poor marketing on the Nuka-Cola bottle.
And
I
as
know
we
that we're in
got...
the middle of gaming, but we need to stop this right now. I gotta talk about this. It's been bugging the crowd. I'm sitting here staring at it
Just
for
getting
months now.
angrier and angrier.
And I can't hold on to my wrath anymore.
Thought you
That
might want some
Nuka-Cola
reference.
bottle, they need to redesign it so it can fit into a cup holder. Because otherwise, I'm not going to do their product. What am I going to drink? Nuka Pepsi? No, I don't think so. I don't want Nuka Pepsi. I want Nuka Cola. It's got a red label.
Back to the game. You find yourself back to the Minor Mind Company.
Just warning, ranting coming.
Essentially, I have to show this, otherwise it's...
It really has been bugging the crap out of me. It's right there.
I never noticed it.
What about garlic windmill?
Ryan pointed out that, but...
Yeah, that I didn't
We've
even
done that
know.
before.
I
Oh, okay.
honestly, when I saw that, thought, is that the new Doctor?
No.
Because I was confused.
Could be. I'd be fine with Ian McGregor as the new Doctor.
I would be fine with Nicole Kidman as the new Doctor.
I'd be okay with that too, as long as Ewan McGregor is the companion.
What, Michelle Pfeiffer's the new Doctor?
Yes, Catwoman. As long as it's like Michelle Pfeiffer from, what is that, 90s, then
I
yeah.
think that's 80s.
It'd be pretty late for 80s.
It's 90s.
I'm thinking it's pretty early 90s.
No, only the first.
Anyway, so
was 80s.
I have posters on that wall. Anyways, back to the game. You find yourself at the gate, and a simple rattle gets a pretty pretty quick response as, some sort of,
Do we hear explosions?
nope.
Okay.
Yeah. A gnome kind of walks up to the gate from the end of that little hallway. Well,
We have a note that said, "Come in here."
boss. You got it unlocked. He said there'd be 4 of you.
One of us is indisposed currently.
Drinking?
No.
I pantomime this.
Double drinking. Alright, hit it.
No, it's fine. Some people are just dumber than others. They don't understand.
But lets you in,
gonna start-
relocks behind, and sort of follows you.
I'm going to save my uncle and start my own mime college.
But yes, you make your way down, and basically you find. First off, you hear no mining. Yeah, that's notable. But you do find pretty much, as you enter into the main room, up near the top of it, there is, table, some chairs. Basically, a little makeshift office has been set up at the top of this mine. To which there is a 6'3" bald earth genasi. Sort of dirty, ruddy skin. Something it's up. You were the guys that saved my mine, eh?
We killed the bugs, if that's what you mean.
Well, the structure is safe. The metal is already in pretty bad condition. But I don't think that the bugs just got here by random. Now, Wait. We're missing one.
He's indisposed, double drinking.
Well, if you'll be able to fill him in if he wants to be a part of this.
Yeah.
You seem like folks that are wanting to make some money. Now, is holding your tongue part of
He's
money?
mute. Don't
Good.
ignore him, but he is mute.
Good.
Good, he's mute! You know what? More and more, I'm feeling that is the correct response. I am terrified of what you will be once you get that rock back.
I have plans, and you will not like most of them.
But yes, some discretion would be needed. I have competitors that feel that singular, large mining structures are more advantageous to the series of minor mines that can be spread out over space. Clearly, my business plan is ideal, and they're having to try to sabotage me.
He didn't say his slogan.
No, that's how he's going to end out the conversation.
I look crestfallen. No, I don't.
I look crestfallen.
I'm just like...
But yeah, say if you want to essentially buy our...
Well, what do you call yourselves, anyways?
4 dudes underground.
I'm making a muscle pointing at my arm.
Strong arms? Strong arms. Good.
Yeah.
Unilateral decision!
Let the mute guy name the team. This is a good decision.
Yes.
I'm glad we all discussed it with our mouths.
Well, if we didn't, we would have been 4 guys underground.
I think
Sort of like 2 men in a truck.
Yeah, he came up with a better name than you. See, I have some competition. It's, I'd be willing to hire, whether ranging from evidence of the sabotage they have caused against me to returning in kind to make sure that they don't let such underhanded behavior be what lets them get ahead.
Oh, so you expect foul play and you want to procure our services in finding the culprit?
Wonderful.
Okay.
I act like I have 3 bowls set up, and I go... little of this, little of that, we'll just mix it together. He gave us 2 options, why not both?
Yeah.
Wait. He thinks I'm making stew. Air stew.
Lovely.
I rolled an 8. I don't know if he gets it. I don't know. He's clearly a shrewd businessman. He might read my intentions.
But yeah, so we'll need access to the different locations that you might think would have been
Of course.
part of the compromise. Say, do 50 gold per member of the strong arms per day, as long as the job to be paid upon completion of the work.
I'm not so sure I want to pay on a daily rate, but perhaps if we can come up with, overall completion.
For the task.
For a total commission job, it'll have to be factored in at the end, depending on the danger inherent. Essentially what we run across.
Well, at the very least, let's call it for As there's a few companies that might have to be looked at for either managing to, securely determine that I'm wrong here and something else has happened, or showing which of them did do it. I'd say an easy 1,000 gold, and I say if we get a little likewise payback against them, we could double it.
Against each and every company.
Well, if you actually find proof that each one has had some part to play, if they're all teaming up against me with that much fear of my business, I can say, yes, revenge on each would be 1,000 per. As long as you have sufficient proof that they are, in fact, all colluding in on it together.
When he said sufficient, I do this as he says sufficient.
He's looking that way.
Sufficient.
And now I feel like Crusader Kings, you must fabricate your claim on this.
Oh no, we're going to Crusader Kings. We're going to make Minor Minds go
The only mining company. As we just crash the metal markets.
Yeah, it's going to be Major Minor Mind Co.
As we just start our
And if
own
it's the
Lost
only-
Monster breeding program.
The best part would be if it was the first one as well, because then it could be Alpha and Omega Major Mind Mining Co.
Major mining monopoly.
I'm trying to think what the free parking would be.
Of the space where just nothing happens.
No, for the Major Mining Monopoly.
Hmm.
I guess free parking would be my competitors. You can just park in their lot since nobody else is there. It's like parking at Sears during Christmas time. Or really any time.
Sears is not doing well.
You go to the mall, you park at Sears. No one parks at Sears.
Why would you go to a mall? No one goes to a mall.
They have used books.
You can just go to the half-price bookstore.
That's at the mall.
I don't even know
It's
if you
not.
could find
There's one up
Adventure.
there by Fancy Shop.
Yeah. It's right next to our friendly local gaming store. Why wouldn't you just go
I've
there?
never been to the friendly local gaming store that was there. I went to the friendly local gaming store when it was closer to my friendly local bar. But then my friendly local bar, true story, decided to move next to the AA building.
Location, location, location!
It really is. It's like it's in.
That's just a dick
It's
move!
3 doors down from the AA building.
Decide not giving up? That's 12 steps too difficult for you. We only got one step, and it's a bar.
There's stools, comfortable stools. I'm not saying give up on your dreams of sobriety. I am saying lower your expectations.
Lower them onto a stool.
Yeah, functioning alcoholic.
We're going to have the AA meeting inside the bar. It's an endurance test.
I walked by, I'm like, what's with the triangles on this building over here? Are they Scientologists? And someone's like, no, that's the AA building. I'm like, why would I know that? They were affronted. I'm like, just because you're the Stairmaster over there.
Yeah, he'll give you a few details, and yeah, it sounds like he kind of knows where some of the other mines are. Some of the more major mines actually do have offices in the city.
So you use your investigation prowess and
Well,
Austin
yeah.
and mine talking prowess.
No, we're going to send Austin in and make him cause a major distraction. Whilst he's doing that, we'll ransack the offices. He'll be in jail for a few days. We'll get him back out later.
We just keep throwing Austin in jail.
Austin, how did you not run the suicide character you were playing, still end up not in the campaign doing things?
Yeah, it's not my fault.
It is exclusively your fault.
Blame my cat at good alignment.
Okay.
Did the camera not overheat? That's peculiar.
It's cool in here.
It's cool in here.
AC, man.
We've done it before.
It is freezing.
Yeah. The goal is to keep it cold enough that the camera works.
Can I just put ice packs on the camera?
No.
Please?
No, it would actually hurt it. If you actually put something around it. Otherwise, I would have done that.
Don't they have cooling equipment for that?
Fans and such, but they have to produce noise.
So you're not a huge fan of them?
Not particularly.
So yes, we'll write down the names of this competition.
Well, yeah, I want him to give us an overview of both the names of the competition that he's as potential suspects,
Mhm.
as to well of any information or tips or indications of foul play that he's noticed, or if he's just speculating.
A lot of the reason for that is basically the complete lack of these types of insects anywhere in the area, that they just showed up here in his mind exclusively.
Okay.
Because any sort of research he's done, he cannot find them anywhere outside of the area, so they have specifically come for his mine.
Okay.
And yes, he already gave you the other stuff. But
And when we came in here fighting...
So I have a list of the competitors.
yeah.
We noticed they were fighting each other. Could it have been multiple people putting different types of bugs in here?
No, it's probably just bugs that don't get along. That would be my guess.
Yeah, but neither Sturgis nor rust monsters come in here. Are in this area.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
So
guess...
whoever put them here, put both of them here.
Yes, it will definitely be multiple companies. Probably all of them. It's
Well,
1,000 per
one of the
company.
first
Stop
things we'll have to
scrolling.
go and check is people who might have been...
I will note,
Transporting.
there are 4 companies that he lists.
Okay.
I might as well put a cap on it before I let it be infinite companies if you're going to frame them all.
Infinite.
So that caps you at 5,000.
He's like, I don't have any competition, however, I can't pay you. I don't have this much liquid funds. You bankrupted me.
Also, I didn't think there were that many competing companies.
Just be like, to be fair, we bankrupted everyone.
Then we just leave the Drow City to wallow in its non-metal. We just throw rust monsters everywhere.
No, then we take ownership of all the mines, and now we are Mine Co.
But we rusted out all of the metal.
No, we don't have to actually can burn down their buildings. We don't have to attack their mines.
Oh, okay.
We need some nature of revenge.
Yeah, you just get revenge.
We could put laxatives in their cake.
Just deliver free cake to them. It's like celebration. Just like 5-10 cakes just to their company office.
I'm just saying, that's 1,000 gold, please.
Okay, so what do you do after that? You head back to town? Yeah.
no, we need to investigate the mine to check and see if it's got actual
Like
physical evidence of any of things that we could potentially link the people who transported the insects into the mine.
check for.
You do know that the insects had been in here for a while beforehand. There is basically one way in and out.
Yeah, check the mine to see if there's any smaller things where they could have come in. Smaller
I'm
holes.
looking for physical evidence, mostly around the door, to check and see if I can find any scraps of anything.
Check, see if it was picked. Trash marks.
Or if there's cloth or whatever scraping of marks of like cages or something.
Yeah.
You make a check.
What about, like, magical evidence? Can you check for that?
I can do detect magic, yeah.
No, it's probably been way too long.
4. So 9.
9? Yeah, you look around the door, and that would, that would be pretty much the only way. You don't specifically see anything, but it's a lock with a normal key. And in the middle of nowhere. If it was just left on its own for long enough, it's not something that would be impossible for someone to pick if they, because there's no one here to watch. Other than that, you don't actually see things around here.
I don't see anything, so we'll have to... We might want to end up talking to... Actually, let's go to the prison.
They said we couldn't talk to Erich until he gets processed.
Well, maybe he's been processed.
We can check.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and go there.
I'm eating a fish on the way out.
And going to the prison, we were wanting to visit with our friend. Wanted to see if he had been processed yet.
Yeah, they checked the name and looked over here. No, he's still awaiting. Probably be another few days, but shouldn't be too long.
Well, a few days long. Alright.
So it doesn't look like it's anything that they have to really collect evidence on, so it should only be a few days. is basically the... We're not having to go collect information, so it probably will just be a line thing.
Yeah, just talk to him. That never turns out poorly.
Now, see if we, while we're there, it's like trying to look up, ask if we could, where the addresses to these companies are.
Oh,
That's easy enough for you to figure out.
at the prison, I asked the guard, would you be able to pass along a note to him?
We could hold a note for him, but while he is in there, we're not able to give...
Okay. Then never mind, I will be back later.
Yeah, couple of them are here on this level, others are on the Merchant Street.
I think it might be time for Project Blackface.
That's a bad name. That's a really bad name for anything. Let's not.
The views of Nicholas do not necessarily represent the views of Jake Kuiken.
No, I'm just realizing I have a disguise kit. I could dress up as a drow and go try to investigate inside.
Hello, fellow evil elves.
You mean inside the jail?
No, inside one of these companies.
Okay.
No, Eric's fine. He's fine.
You do not necessarily get the feeling that just because some drow could go in somewhere that they all look the same to each other, and that they all are just allowed to freely roam wherever they want.
Oh, I know what I do.
Grab a clipboard and some roses and just start walking the company like you own the place.
I want to use my my background ability for finding
Which is?
the ability to know where criminals and lawmen hang out.
Okay.
Essentially, I'm going to go look for any detectives or whatever the legal officers. I want to
Okay.
find out where they are.
They're within these few buildings right around here.
Okay, go in one of the buildings.
Okay.
I'm going to go up and I'm going to ask, is there somebody that I can talk to? I'm doing an investigation and wanted to get a bit of information about the area.
What sort of information are you needing?
Well, I'm looking to see if there are any known professional saboteurs that I would be able to get into contact with, or that you've come across in previous races.
I need a professional saboteur.
Yeah, that's sort of almost the feeling that she gets with this, and she's like, I'll get someone to speak with you.
It's the other way. I've had something that's been sabotaged. Who are the most likely suspects?
Yeah, but that's not the way he worded it. And so, yes, you do get, an individual to come out and sort of sit, at a side table with you. He sort of sizes you up a bit.
He's tiny.
He's like a size medium.
No, size small.
Yeah, he's a medium child.
She, said it sounded like you were looking to sabotage something.
No, I have a client that I'm doing investigations for who's had sabotage, and I was wondering if I have any suspects that I could go and investigate. And was just looking for an exchange of information.
Okay, well, where is this investigation about? Is it...
Suspected foul play over with the mining competitors.
locally?
Yeah.
So now the
And
He almost sort of pauses. Yeah. Okay. And you've been hired for this, you said?
Yep.
Interesting.
And I'm looking to see if we know of any
remember when we were supposed to be
professional criminals.
discreet? To show discretion?
Oh.
Where he specifically said we need discretion?
Where he specifically did not come to this.
Retract that because I forgot.
Okay.
It's like my character's way smarter than me.
Yeah. That's
He would have picked up those subtle clues.
I'm specifically saying it.
So how do you go about? Well, you sit down there. We have a client that's sabotage. Oh, what's going on?
Just some industrial sabotage.
Yeah, and it's like, whatever, it's professional holding for somebody in one of the upper districts that they want to keep quiet. But I was just wondering if there are any known criminals that I should be looking into.
Do we have a timeline for when this was? Is it here within?
Yeah, it's been recent, within the past, whatever, yeah,
Well,
couple months.
Single month.
I have very few that are not released, and anyone that has very well been cleared and is being watched. I don't believe anyone that would, any repeat offenders like that. We have a number of them that are behind bars, of course, but it's not a legal activity. We don't let them roam if we don't have evidence that they've cleared behavior. We don't tend to get repeat offenders within the city.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly, the city is full of, if you don't get caught, you didn't do it. If you do get caught, you get murdered.
Well, I was wondering if there are any professional outfits.
Group sport, nothing that's there does not. It basically explains there does not appear to be. We are not currently, at least from what he says, we are not. And you can roll. We are not currently investigating any sort of things, and there are none that
Roll what?
It would be insight.
Insight, yeah.
7.
Yeah, he seems to be pretty honest. Yeah, he's sort of the
Of
course, we'll keep it. We continue to keep an eye out for any sort of organized groups like that.
Sure.
That,
Well, putting that aside, do you have any good rumors? Anything in the criminal world that, as far as like rumors going around?
Come on, DM, give him a plot hook.
We
there
already
is
have
nothing
more!
There, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're keeping track better than me. Nothing that can be expressed to public knowledge.
Then I'll leave. I'll go find the criminals. They'll probably be more honest.
Is that what you say to him?
No. That's what I think. Yeah, so I'm going to go to some sort of criminal den.
So you wind up with Moss Isley.
Shouldn't we start by just investigating these companies versus just randomly greatest detectiving this?
I'd just like to point out it wasn't me this time.
Well, no, you can't yell, where's the Joker, so that's helpful.
Just get a big sign, wave around.
I threatened.
And it's like, what do you want us to do? Go up and ask them if they've recently made any moves against the Minor Mine Co.?
No, you go and find a secretary and talk to them, see if...
By talking means blackmail.
No, not blackmail. I mean,
Death and torture.
By not blackmail, he means definitely blackmail.
Someone lower that might have inside information but not know it's important.
He
I
means
would
kidnap
assume,
their children.
as an investigator, that would be a great...
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. So, Jimmy, I want you to go to the different mining codes, and I want you to interrogate their janitors. See if they know anything.
Yeah. I'll go and pick one of the buildings.
So you're splitting the party again.
We'll meet at that tavern that serves breakfast. We can stay there tonight. Or, how late is it today?
Oh, it's getting there. Drained Cauldron.
Okay, the Drain Cauldron.
Yeah. They had very nice beds, and breakfast came with soup. And
you're still eating on their food.
Yeah. And meat was only 2 copper.
Eating a slug right now. Still happy, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will go get in my more ragamuffin clothes without the scam out. Go not quite beggar-y because, God knows, have I seen any beggars or anything like that in the city?
Not beggar per se, but you've definitely seen poorer people.
Well,
you haven't seen people basically on the side begging for money, no.
But have I seen just, rat bundled up on the side of the street, homeless but not begging?
You've seen some people, but it's not up in this area is not a big percentage.
Okay. Look around the shop, see if there's any cafes or anything near there.
Like near the something, particularly near the ones up, the couple that are also. By the way, the two that are in the places on the Merchant Street are there because they are also stores. They are open to public. You can just come in. They sell raw metals and processed metals directly out of them. So there are actually parts of this, the buildings that are open.
Okay, so 2 of them are open to public. Well, I'm researching the ones that aren't.
Okay, those do not necessarily have cafes and such. Those are in this area on, in the actual business district here. You end up finding your way down to the lower level, further below this business district, which is small and cramped. Many of the buildings are makeshift, seem to be shared without doors publicly open. It is a very poor part of town, and you have found the part of town where basically it seems they do shove beggars in the West. It is literally behind the jails. The area is able to be watched well by you can kind of tell almost there is almost like a legal sort of guard presence that can watch who comes in and out. You are noticed for going in.
No.
That is going to be noted. You would know that as you approach. You spend some time in there, make a luck check.
Are you?
8. Roll a d12. By the time you leave, you are missing that much gold.
Did they grab my gold, or did they grab one of my other bits of currency?
They end up getting that much of gold. It could be that value of other currency.
Okay.
It is probably not one individual person, and it is probably through different means. But yeah. Basically, you just kind of go into an area where you're not. Where you shouldn't necessarily be. However, you do find that within this group of very poor people, there are a number of people here that would be... Basically, I'm guessing in this area, you ask around almost in the idea of who would be willing to be hired for this kind of job.
Yeah,
and you're able to find a few people that can do that. Make an investigation check.
16.
16? You feel that it is possible that one or two of these may have been hired to do that kind of work almost in the past from some of the, I can do that kind of thing, I've done that before kind of thing. You don't get a direct tie to an individual company, but at the very least you have a feeling like someone might have been...
It's like, the real question is, do you know where to find these type of bugs?
Yeah, I asked them about whether or not they know who's been moving any of the rust monsters or sturges.
You find no one that knows, those by name.
The big mosquitoes and the...
Yeah, as far as basic...
rust monsters would be known by name.
They're not common enough here.
But
yeah, it's like the other things of the... we know some places if you need to... get some weirder thing, if they can be carried, by a man, places where you can get some more mysterious creatures.
Where would I find the bugs? Who'd be able to get those for me?
That's a good
point. The right coin, I can get that for you.
You could get it for me?
I can get that for you. I know a guy.
Oh, who's your guy?
I gotta keep my guys safe. So you go through me, I keep him safe, everyone's happy.
Now, you have 19 strength. Proceed to beat the crap out of this guy for the information.
You are small, and he's not expecting it.
What are the bones?
Yeah. No, I'll go ahead and do that. Yeah.
I will
Make
just
a strength-based intimidation check.
Alright.
Unless you're actually just going to
Start assaulting.
or an attack roll, whichever one you want.
I don't know. Let's just
Yeah.
grab him and hold him up. So. 14.
14? Okay. There's some farms up north that, they got things. You sneak onto the farm, you get them off the farm.
Be more specific.
I don't remember one. I'd have to go mess around until I found them.
Just give me a description. Write it down.
No, it sounds like there are basically farms up north that do various animal and plant things, and basically there are cave creatures and such. And he's like, you kind of get the feeling that those not being something in great demand are the kind of thing that you're only going to get in smaller numbers there, but that basically if you had time, they could breed them. That they probably have to keep them separate from each other to prevent that, and then it's easy enough to.
So, investigate farms up north for the bug connection.
I mean, it's like, go ahead and start looking up to the north of the town and see if what we can find out about who's selling bugs to who.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you at this point it is getting quite late by the time you're leaving that district.
And then I'll go back to the leaky cauldron.
It's something, Cauldron. It's good enough.
It's closer to it than I even realized until he said it, so...
Mm-hmm. What is it, like empty or...
Drained?
Drained,
yeah. That is surprisingly close, isn't it? And the thing is, that would have been totally subconscious. First, make a deception check. Then I was going to say, you might be able to use an extra stat, but charisma's what you're going to want to use anyway, so I'm just going to use that.
We're still proficiency 2, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
We haven't leveled up, so yeah.
19?
19? Yeah, you're able to more or less clear things. You don't get the feeling that they have a full-time janitor working in here.
Yeah.
Do you try to talk to people, or do you try to look around to get information?
With the deception going, I'm going to stealth about for now, taking a look before I engage.
Look at
directly.
investigation.
12.
12. You're not able to strictly find the paper trail of paying someone for sabotaging.
Oh, I actually got all the way into the building and looked.
You are in the building, one of the buildings at this point, and yes, more or less, you are able to just sort of, kind of go around and be.
You just look like I belong here. Yep. Totally not just a 15-year-old human.
There are a number of dwarves and gnomes that work amongst here. Okay. With a lot of this industry, you get that they work a little bit with some of the other races. Okay. And there are a number of even younger drow that are basically hired on as similar jobs up in, the city center. So it's a busy enough office that you're able to kind of, blend in. You may even at some point have to deliver something to an office.
Yeah.
Start delivering mail.
Yeah, so nothing directly paying.
But nothing directly paying it. But also you kind of get the feeling of almost that they are keeping a watch on their competition is probably the best, the biggest.
There are memos mentioning the minor
as well as some of the other companies. Basically, that they are, they basically have information that they are collecting on how different companies are doing. They're very surprised by success level such a minor mind might have. It shouldn't be as major a business as it may be.
It just makes him so happy.
I know, and it's the kind of thing I fought for weeks until I realized if I just lean into it, he's going to be happy. Yeah, let's just do it. Minor minds, major business. You win, you're happy.
I campaign for the little guy.
It's like Star Wars with the puck company. It's like, I fought it, and then eventually I realized, no, You're just gonna be so much happier if I just go with it.
Well, it also I keep getting worse and worse. I'll come up with more slogans. By the end of the Star Wars campaign, Puck Company had like 12 different slogans.
Just gotta lean into it while and basically let me get control before it gets too crazy.
Yeah, you gotta get ahead of this train.
Can't stop it. Just get ahead of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so good. While I'm there, I'll try to make friends with some of the lower employees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just,
Yeah, they're sort of new hire. No, best of luck to you. Get a few names of people. Stay out of their way. As long as they don't see you, they're happy with you.
Exactly.
Excellent. We will give all of them diarrhea.
Do you just go back to the tavern
And plot. Yeah, I go back to
plot. No, you just go to all the other.
No, you go back and you pull out the rest of the food you were
No,
eating before.
I was gonna go back and I was
Just pull out the same food that you bought there.
put it back on the
You're
plot.
not. No, we made that.
I pointed at the slugs, just 2 thumbs way up.
Good, yeah. And eventually they
And
get some word from morning shift. He bought how much food?
I pantomime a drink.
Yeah. One more drink, yeah. For a copper or two,
Yeah, free refills. I brought my cup back.
You just stole her cup.
Brought it back.
As you unload the napkins that you stole.
I probably would have wandered out with the cup.
Buy the tanker, get free
However,
refills.
I gave them a full gold.
Yeah, no.
So it's like, okay. Do I come back with the cup?
But it's not free refills, at least not on ale. If you're just looking for water, they can...
I'll take a root beer then.
What?
A sarsaparilla.
That fits in the cup holders.
Anyway, so the rest of you get back. Do you each get individual rooms again, or now that you're at one place, do you just...
Get one room and sleep together.
Yeah.
An individual room. I also have 4 ales.
As you just go upstairs with your double drinking.
No, I'm going to sit down at the bar.
Oh, okay.
Whilst I finish my food, it was an entire day's worth of rations. For the price of 2 days worth of
If he's got
rations.
4 beers, that means that he needs like a quad straw.
Or you could just drink one and then get another one.
Oh, yeah.
And then after you do that,
You
do
made
it again, and then one more time for funsies.
You made it sound like you had 4 beers in front of you just all at once.
No.
Okay. I'm going to buy 4 beers over the course of the evening.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm
So it's 1 gold for the night, right?
Yeah, sounds right. What they include, yeah.
And people look at you, look at your shoes, look at your clothes.
Yes.
1 gold.
I go back to the other side because it was 5 silver over there, but they don't serve breakfast.
Hey, I'm still getting by better. Meat was only 2 copper.
My meat was also 2 copper a serving.
It's not a lot more of it. Otherwise, you stay here or you go across the street. Either way, you're able to get your inn for the evening.
Yep. Alright.
You find yourself back in the corpse's cart as the standing await. You see shopkeeper's not there. You see nothing of difference here. Nothing notable in the jaws if you look. What you hear is the coo of the dove, the caw of the raven, from somewhere back behind the curtain, behind the shop, within deeper there. If you move the curtain aside, all you see is darkness, but the sound silences. I just enjoy the voice. It's a really fun voice.
No. Hello, darkness, my old friend. The sound of silence.
That's the sound you hear.
Yeah.
Yes, you see the absence of light, and you hear the absence of sound.
Otherwise, in morning, those of you at the cauldron can get your breakfast, can upgrade to your meat. Those of you elsewhere, get no breakfast.
I go back across the street to breakfast. I just sit down.
How much do you spend this morning?
Silver.
You're able to get a normal sized portion of meat. Able to.
Well, remember,
With the beer.
a silver's still 5 portions of meat.
With I want
But
drink.
it's probably like a double portion of meat, a drink, and also some of the soups and other sides that you got. Is probably what he gets at that point. A little bit bigger meal than what you get, but still not an unusually large meal. There are people here that's what they come and get.
Yes.
I'm also a much bigger person.
Yeah.
Alright. And we woke up. And he's like, so what'd you find out, Jimmy?
Did you spend any time writing anything, by the way?
No.
Okay.
I don't have enough ink.
Oh, that wasn't okay. You just
Your spells are too high, or do you just want to...
he just didn't have the money, apparently.
Yeah, I didn't have the money.
Okay.
Unless I spend Erich's money. But I just am holding
He
on
was
to it.
advised to refrain.
Yes. Let you know, it's like these are the players in the business, the higher-ups. They're keeping tabs on the other one, but nothing specifically in any documentation I could find of hiring or even mentioning, let's not worry about them, that won't be a problem anymore, or any such things as that.
Did you see anyone twirling their mustache?
No.
The villains usually twirl their
I
mustaches.
found out that it's potential that the monsters that were brought to the mine were from some farms in the north side of town. Apparently there's some people who deal in monsters, and we might be able to figure out who he sold to. Potentially.
Okay. You want to go investigate that, or should I go investigate the other higher-end company first?
You go to the other higher end company. I'll go with them there.
Yeah. And
Which?
he's like,
Wait. None of you understand that.
and he's like,
You just pointed him.
I go you, and then
yeah, he's like, well, yeah, we
He's
can,
thinking that they'd be a little bit better of a couple, and you should get lost.
yeah, we're going on a date.
Yeah, we want some alone time. Get out of here.
everyone knows that's this.
But we'll go investigate the farm, and you can see if you can pull any more information out of the people at the mining companies.
Yeah. You go for stores, or you go for the other office.
The other office building. It's like, first day.
Make a disguise check.
Natural 20. So, disguise is something I have trained. So, is it charisma or intelligence or... I'm going to say charisma. Disguise isn't a skill. Deception is.
Yeah, deception is.
You have a disguise kit, so it's
Yeah.
probably deception of convincing them I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah.
It's either deception or you roll your disguise tool kit.
Yeah.
bonus.
Which I have both. But I'm going with deception because I get the
Yeah.
bonus.
So probably either way, it'd probably be charisma. Something.
Oh, okay. So 26.
Yeah. But yeah, you're more or less able to navigate your way through.
With lies.
And then you get the same option for you trying to focus on talking with people or looking at information.
Looking at information.
Okay, so you can also make a investigation check.
No, I realized that last time. I'm better at talking to people. I'm going to talk to people.
Talking to people also has a bigger risk if you fail.
Yeah. But still, talking to people. Persuasion or deception.
No, you can
Or-
just take both checks, can't you?
Oh no, that would be persuasion at that point.
Either way,
they're probably
take
the
both.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 16.
Okay. So you're working on that, and the pair of you kind of make your way up, and yeah, you see there are various sort of farms. First off, to exit north, you actually exit from the the next layer up. It's not a straight shot; it's actually on the next layer. You exit through, and yeah, there's.
Wait, so far every exit's been on a different floor. I wonder if the fourth is also on a different floor.
Technically, the exit east and the exit south were from the same floor.
Oh, they both just go underground?
One of them goes underground, the other one is at level.
In a cavern, Nick.
Yeah. Well, under...
This cavern actually slants up, and so depending on where it is, that it's actually exiting, they're different, but yeah.
It's undergrounder.
Mhm.
It's downer that more so. Yeah.
There's the first layer, and then there's under that.
Anyways, similar to how the southern exit had the, sort of wider area of, farms and such, many of those are things. Here you get a lot more interesting things. You're able to see where wood is grown, and basically there are what you guys really would recognize as trees. They are basically being grown with layers of fungus on top of them, but they are very clearly leafless trees.
Do you have light for him, or are you just wandering around with that little shiny stone?
I have like the spell.
He has
you have light the spell now? Okay.
I can't cast. I'm pretty
He
sure
has about an
it requires-
hour of light, and then he has his stone.
I'm pretty sure it requires verbal.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, I cannot produce light.
But I have the spell.
Yes.
Otherwise, yes, there are various things, and you see, slugs, and basically a lot of livestock animals, but you're able to, with some time...
Yeah, I go looking for the unusual...
Yeah, you're able to find places where they have caged up just some unusual things, and more or less, basically, stocks where a lot of, maybe a farmhouse has a number of things sort of in cages out front with just basically price tags on what it is and a inquire within kind of thing.
Okay.
See a little drow girl skipping out with a puppy.
Not a puppy, but...
An ennui predator.
A little cat with tentacles out of its back.
Ennui predator.
Tended
by driders.
We have seen no driders.
Yeah.
Yet.
Do we know that's a thing in Drow society? And we're just surprised we haven't? Or...
You have no idea.
Well, I would.
He's probably vaguely aware that the thing exists. You don't know if it's part of their society or what.
Rumors of spider people.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so after the hour you've found that that's there, are you specifically investigating any of it?
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the cages.
Eventually, sort of an older lady will kind of come on. Would you want to purchase something?
So I'm looking for if it's your farm or one of the ones in the area. We were looking for monstrous insects.
At this point, you've found the farm that at least has some.
Yeah.
So I've already put that. They're right there. You're not having to ask about.
Oh, okay.
Where, yeah.
Or are they rust monsters and scourges?
There are some there. There are a number of weird things. Basically, it's an exotic breeder, and
it's like so. And so looking into the sale of the exotic species that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had any large purchases lately?
You've had some decent purchases.
Yeah.
You do all right.
Would you have been selling any of the insectoid species in any sort of bulk?
We've had a few people purchase some of those, in the last month or so. It's the kind of thing that comes and goes. I think some weird recipes use them, but
really, people from restaurants have been coming here for that.
Not many restaurants can be higher end. People for fancy parties or things. I don't imagine they're edible without quite careful preparation.
I gotcha.
Now I'm just thinking of a really fancy dinner where, just to show how fancy, you can't eat with iron tools. You have to have gold or silver plated cutlery.
Are you saying rust monsters are the blowfish of the Underdark?
You have to get just that right cut. It's delicious, but if you get either end, you're poisoned.
I don't even think they're poisonous.
They don't poison you. You haven't tried eating them.
All that iron in my stomach. Oh no, so rusty. At least I didn't eat aluminum shavings.
Aluminum?
Mm-hmm.
Is that bad for
His
you?
light shuts off.
And it's like, well,
Pull out my stone.
Yeah.
Your little candle.
anyway, we were looking into a situation, and we were wondering if you would be able to maybe give us an idea of who might have been some buyers for a particular set of these creatures. You would have had to breed them in advance, right?
Well, we have a number of them that we keep.
But a large
We've had a few that have said that they'd gotten them, but nothing that I still have records for once purchases are completed. And even if I did, of course that'd be private information.
Throw money at the problem.
Yeah, it's like...
Well, she is also suggesting she doesn't keep that on record.
Yeah, but why would she say, even if I did, I wouldn't keep those records? She's clearly asking for bribe.
Yeah, it's like, so what would help...
Or you could just ask, has anyone bought both Sturges and Rust Monsters together within the last month?
It'd be same answer.
Well, the difference is that's
You would
less
have actual-
private, and that's just based on something that she might be able to remember.
Yeah, and it's like...
But to her recollection, I don't think that anyone's bought both of those two.
Would you known of any clients that bought them within a short time of one another?
I didn't notice that, so...
But-
If so, they would have had to have sent separate buyers.
I'm still looking at the double sabotage hitting each other in the face.
Yeah, and it's like... Well, say, maybe you could give us sort of an idea of maybe what you saw, maybe what you heard. What would make you more friendly to us?
Money.
She doesn't seem quite to understand.
I'll go ahead and...
She feels like she's being perfectly friendly.
Yeah, I go ahead and jingle my coin purse.
Well, I'd of course love a donation, but I really don't have any actual names to give you.
Any professional contacts that might be people who would have moved the creatures for you?
No, anyone that buys tends to send individual buyers to collect them themselves. Half the time I don't even know who's really buying it, just, you know.
Well, who does the movement? Is that its own company?
No,
No,
they just
the people
send
that
someone.
collect them. That,
No. Well, certainly if it's a large order, there's going to be
someone pulls up with a cart.
a cart.
I mean, if the boxes are this big and a cart is that big, they could put 25 or so on a cart, which easily matches your number. Yeah, a cart could easily...
Yeah, so I'm at least looking for a cart's worth. As far as people. So
Well,
would
a cart worth of Sturges.
Yeah,
There
cart
are two Rust Monsters.
yeah, that would be a cart worth of Sturges. And he's like, So yeah, a cart worth of Sturges and 2 Rust Monsters is what I'm looking for.
You could always take the easy non-role player out and just throw the investigation check.
Well, there's that, but
It's like, does my character know questions asked that I don't?
well, because she wouldn't necessarily have anything to do with that. She would only have the contact as far as who she would have sold to.
Yeah, at best you might find out that yes, she did sell a cart worth of Sturges in the last month.
Well, did you?
month or so. She's not. It's long enough back that she doesn't exactly remember, but it hasn't been too long since she sold a number of those.
It was a month ago.
A month or two.
Month or two.
I don't exactly remember.
And the mine was hit what recently, or has it been down an entire month?
Yeah, that could have been within. It's not been necessarily that long ago, but semi-recently, you know.
So
The job may have been posted for a little bit. Who knows how long it takes them to move from here over to the mine, especially if they're trying not to take them through the city. Because otherwise, if they take a cart full of them through the city, that might be noticeable.
It's like
And that's just something you would know.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and check for cart tracks that'll be taking an alternative path around.
Because of what road you're on, there are cart tracks, back and forth, etc.
Yeah, but I'm going to look for one that goes off road and not into the city.
Any of the ones that go away from the city.
Yeah, the ones that don't go directly to the city.
But there are other places that spreads out already.
Yeah.
Well, then let's go from here to the minor mine and follow that track.
The only route that you know between those goes through the city.
Okay.
You do not know a route outside the city for those.
I'll ask the lady. And it's like, if we wanted to take a cart and go from here and go around this without going through the city, what path would we take in order to go around to this side?
Yeah, her comment is basically that would be a very inconvenient way to try and get out there.
No, I'm looking for how you would do it, not whether or not it's convenient.
Navigate the caverns. That would be dangerous.
Basically, it's dangerous.
She doesn't do it. She's an old lady.
But
Don't do that. Be careful, young man.
Yeah, she's not familiar with the paths through the caves?
No.
Okay.
Hire yourself a group of adventuring types if you want to do that kind of thing.
Alright.
We could offer some people like 200 gold to take care of her problem.
Just subcontract this into the ground.
Alright, we need you to hire some guys to do this problem for us.
Mm-hmm. Those guys will only be getting paid 5 gold, and they'll be happy for us.
Of course they will. They're peasants.
Mm-hmm.
No, we need to go into the poor district that I found, and we're just going to start hiring beggars left and right, and we'll have an entire army of beggars.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd say we'd either have to figure out the cart path in order to figure out where the cart might have come from or gone.
Well, I feel we got information that someone definitely bought that Sturgis. We've definitely proven that, well, not proven, but have good evidence that someone's definitely actually trying to sabotage them.
Yeah.
Which we can turn over and fabricate that any way we want to. Or we can actually do the right thing. But.
I vote for right thing.
Yes.
Gives them all diarrhea.
Otherwise, for the most part, it doesn't take too long, and you do get the feeling some people are starting to get a little suspicious based on some of you are just interacting with them. Mm-hmm. But before that occurs, you get the feeling that the business is struggling financially. Yeah. You're not exactly sure how they've been responding to it, but you definitely sort of get the feeling of basically lower people are aware of it, but upper people are very much trying to pretend that lower people aren't and that they can keep it hidden from them.
Yes, okay. So I already feel them getting a little suspicious. So
yeah,
I'm not going to bring.
The more you talk and that kind of thing, it's definitely interacting with people is definitely the and who hired you, and that kind of thing. That's much harder to just
lie through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll keep. Don't want to arouse more suspicion, so
at a certain point, you've given a name or two that all that person has to do is actually verify it with that person, and I'm caught.
Yeah. So about. Stick it out through launch, then fade away.
Okay. Yeah. Make a luck check then.
6.
Okay, you're about halfway to lunch at the point where you pretty much hear people discussing, and you can hear but he said you.
And just put light on something on the other corner, just suddenly brights up. Fade away.
He basically just... And there's a point where, as you leave, you can kind of tell that they're outside the... But once you're out, they're not necessarily but they're aware that...
Put up then. Fade away. Can't go back there again. Now, what we need to do is get Austin to infiltrate.
I'm pretty good at it.
See how well you've sneaked yourself in here?
Uh-huh.
Anyways, after your hour and a half-ish, do you just head back to the city, or you didn't necessarily have a meet-up place, other than you knew where he was?
It's still the
Or do you just wander off into the darkness, where he cannot see at all, other than like 5 feet from him?
We'll go back to the cauldron so we can meet up with Jimmy.
Was that where you were going back?
Yeah, well, that's definitely where I'm turning in for the night. I'm going
Okay,
to
well,
investigate one of the
again,
other
you're
shop.
not quite to lunch by that point.
Yeah.
So, do you just head back there after to lay low, or what do you...
Well, then I'm gonna go back there
Technically,
to
the
get
checkout
lunch.
was relatively early.
Yeah.
Technically, within a couple hours from there, you can check into a new room.
Yeah. No, I head back, get lunch, then I'm gonna head out and investigate the other shops.
Wait around, probably for lunch again. You get quite a while before that. But probably while waiting for lunch, and maybe as you guys are entering the city and starting to head that way, is when the striking, the breaking noise occurs, and the place sort of rumbles from somewhere in the next district up. You can hear screams and cries coming out of the Queen's eyes, and there's definitely an immediate sort of rush of just guard that are rushing to the upper level as something seems to have exploded.
Well, it wasn't me. My alibi is solid.
Yeah, no, it's like, I guess that's...
It was probably that doppelganger.
Del Taco was giving me tacos. It's just they open up a new Taco Bell.
Boom.
Yeah, it's like anybody standing around, just...
Some people are definitely a lot of getting out of way of guard. Other people are kind of, trying to duck into buildings. Some just sort of standing, sort of watching, what is going on.
One of those people, go up to them and it's like, what happened?
Are you actually going to the upper level to try and find that out?
No,
or?
one of the random people standing.
No idea. It seemed like there was some sort of explosion.
No, nobody said anything yet?
At this point, it just happened. You know as much as them.
Oh, okay.
They were probably in line of sight, unless they're telepathic to someone on an upper level.
Yeah.
You didn't hear the guard shout anything? Okay.
No. But can't be good.
No, just look at someone scream, "What did you do?"
What is on
Run
the
off.
upper level?
That next level up,
And that's where the corpse card is.
corpses cart, churches,
Chicken.
No. No chicken.
Too hard to read.
Yeah,
down
churches,
here.
cathedrals, some...
Churches,
you were at the Caridescent Halls. The major library was up there. If it's the level above that, that is wealthy and noble living. That level has some middle level living, but if it's a next level up, it's
next level.
It's the highest level is basically where the nobles and royalty lives.
Kalidan, did you want to go rubberneck or do you just want to go back?
Teensy weensy flame.
It's like I want to go find my light man.
While you're in here, you can see.
Oh, okay.
There's enough light within the city.
Alright, well, let's go rubberneck.
Okay. And as you kind of check, and you kind of get the...
Are guards pushing people back?
No, I'm trying to figure out... I was going to say you understand something, but I'm going to make you make an insight check. One of you.
Not me.
16.
16. You get the feeling that you kind of need to keep some sort of distance. You kind of get the feeling that they are people that they think, maybe, are just being arrested. But you're able to tell from a bit of a distance that what appears to have been blown up was a massive series of explosions that blew out the Kalidan Hall.
Oh, so the library.
The library was what it seems to have been.
I look at that and I'm like, what do you think, arcane research? I'm thinking arcane research.
It does
You
not look like a
found
single...
like zero arcane
It
research
does not
in
seem
there.
like the size of the library and the amount of it that seems to be have been blown up. It seems like a series of explosions had to be timed together along at least the length of it and whatever depth it has. A single explosion does not appear to have done that.
Oh, well, somebody really didn't like that lady that I talked to, I guess.
I tried to pantomime. They probably just don't want to pay the late fees.
8.
He's just making
He's
motions.
late for something.
Yeah, late, okay. Yeah.
I mean, we're not even in a society that has watches. How are you going to make time signals if you don't have a wristwatch to point at?
I don't have a wristwatch. I still use this.
Yeah, exactly.
I do this. Because we went backwards in time. We have pocket watches now.
Yes, but I don't even think they're pocket watches, are there?
I-
But isn't it 1,000
no.
gold?
To be
for
fair,
one
even
clock?
a sundial thing would be lost on him.
Yeah.
Just hold the candle on it.
Water clock.
1,000 gold.
Yeah, and it's like, well, that sucks. They blew up the library. Let's go ahead and go back down.
It's like,
Sucks to be you, nerd. Alright.
And so, you make your way back to the tavern,
Yep.
and midday you find yourselves back there. At the very least, you have now caught up to where Austin was from like the beginning of the session. You finally caught up with him, right? And it took him forever.
Yeah.
You see how quickly you did it like less than 10 minutes, and it took them how long? I mean, you were much more efficient. Just saying.
Got caught up with some reading.
The bigger point is that he didn't have this monstrosity of a Nuka-Cola bottle staring at him.
Anyways, so midday, but yeah, you'll follow up from your positions there next time.
Oh, okay.
Let's say 350 experience each. You may have an extra 7 for just having to sit there. by yourself.
357.
No, you get 350.
I pantomimed like a boss.
Yes, but he literally just had to sit there for an hour and 45 minutes doing nothing.
I don't see how that's my problem.
And he gets 7. It probably will never matter. It is a small enough amount that it's funny if ever he levels up first because of it.
It is a tiny, tiny amount. Oh, I think we're pretty far off from level 4.
Yeah.
we are another 700 off.
Anyways, thank y'all for
277?
yeah, for joining us. Join us next time for more. Bye.